Hey fishing friends, welcome back to eFishing. I'm Rodney, and today, well, we're sitting on the new moon at the 1st of May, and we're about 2 weeks out from the full moon in May. And if you don't know what that means, it means it's time to do a little pre-spawn bluegill fishing, and that's what we're after here today. So if you guys like this kind of stuff, make sure you hit that like button down there. It helps it get out to the algorithm, and if you want to, hit that subscribe button. So let's go fishing. So I'm starting my search for these bluegill today up on this flat here, and it's got a little bit of weed growth, and the boat's probably sitting in 5 to 6 foot of water, and up there about where the weed line starts, it's probably about a foot deep. And all I'm using is it's real simple. It's just a small jig with a 64th ounce jig head and just a small split tail piece of plastic on it, and it's black. And then above that, about a foot or so, I've just got a small bobber, and I'm just going down this flat here, kind of fishing kind of fast, throwing at different places, and I've been catching quite a few small bluegill, but let's keep on going down through here and let's see if we can't find some bigger ones. Now you could use worms or crickets or wax worms or any of those traditional things that you think of bluegill fishing, and they would work fine. But what I found is when you get on a hot bite like this and you're catching fish pretty quick, sometimes you're spending a lot longer baiting your hook up with a worm or a cricket or whatnot than you are catching fish. And sometimes that's when these little jigs really shine, is when you're on a hot bite. Now, one thing to pay attention to here in the pre-spawn for these bluegill is when you catch one, pay attention to where you caught it from. They may not be schooled up in a real large area. Like, they might be only in like maybe a 5-yard area, 10, 15, 20 feet. And as the spawn progresses, that area will increase, so you can expand your area. But here in this pre-spawn, make sure you pay attention to where you catch them and focus in on that. Now, I don't know if you all have noticed or not, but that's been 3 casts in a row that I've caught a fish, and all of them have been pretty much hand-sized bluegill. And they've all been right there in front of that little old brush pile that's sitting up there on the bank in that tree there. So, again, just pay attention to where they're at and keep fishing that area. And see, right there's another one, right there in the same spot that I just caught those other 3. So that's 4 fish and 4 casts, and every one of them's been hand-sized bluegill. I don't know about you all, but that's a pretty good, I think. So if you notice, on this cast, I pitched my little jig in there on the left side of this little brush pile sitting up there, and I haven't had anything hit it, and I've worked it on out there pretty farther than I haven't caught anything real far out. They've all been pretty close up there to the weeds. And on this cast, pitch it right up there in front of that brush pile, and bang, just like that, end up catching it.
Good night. Crazy bluegill action. Look at this. Look at that thing. Big as my hand. That's just unreal. Look at that thing. Look at that. Look at that thing. Ooh. Good night. That thing's done swallowed it.
Those fish I was catching there in front of that little old brush pile, you can see it there right to the right. They quit biting. So I moved on down the bank just a little bit. And lo and behold, well, I found another little group of them here. So when that happens, they quit biting.
Oh
Just
my
move on down
goodness,
the
look
bank
at
a
that
little bit.
thing.
And
Crazy
you'll
big
probably
old
find some
bluegill.
more. They're in little groups, and as the spawn comes on, they'll group up in big groups here in about a week. I'm not sure how many fish I've caught down through here, but I know one thing. It's been fun, and it's that time of year that you can catch quite a few fish. So get your family and friends out there. Show them what it's like to get out there and catch a few fish. If y'all like this kind of stuff, make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. It helps
Good
get out there
night.
to the
Look at that
algorithm.
thing.
We'll see y'all out on the water sometime. I'm Rodney, Lee Fishing. We're out.
Look at that thing. Shoo-wee.